Welcome back to New Horizons in Chinese Philosophy. This is Lecture 3. In this lecture, we continue to introduce cultural context. This time, we will introduce the Zhou dynasty. Last time, in Lecture 2, we came to arrive at a notion of order. According to that notion, order is based on family model. A ritual community of family is structured by role relationship between family members. This is a hierarchical structure. However, hierarchy in this context does not seem to be normative as usually understood in social political philosophy. It is concerned with familial relations. Familial relations are based on blood ties, and blood ties seem to be more natural than normative. Something normative is based on something natural, but the former, the something normative, cannot be reduced to the latter, something natural. This non-reductive, nature-based normativity prevents us deriving normativity from transcendental being on the one hand. It also stops us reducing normativity to something natural on the other hand. And this, I think, is what Chinese philosophy might contribute to philosophy in general. The crucial point here is that our focus is on formative process of family model rather than on a static state of the model. At no point of its formative process do we fix the model of family. Our sense of family comes from the life we live in the familial context. It is a family life we live that gives us a sense of family. The other crucial point is that we focus on a certain act rather than a certain state. Within the family, we act in a certain way, forming a certain community. This is a ritual community of family. This is a community of role relations. The role relationship is hierarchically structured in the community. Roles and hierarchy are normative notions, but they present themselves in a natural way within a system of family. So, within the family, we have a role of being father. We also have a role of being son. To be father, you have to act in a certain way in the family. To be a son, you have to act in a different way in the family. In the process, there emerges the father-son relation. And this relation forms a certain structure of family. It appears to be a hierarchical structure. From hierarchically structured family model, we derive social political order. We have a hierarchy of the high god, nature deities. At the same time, the ancestral spirits of royal family, kings, princesses, and all other people in the kingdom. Within this hierarchical structure, each of those beings are assigned a definite role accordingly as how qualified he is. The high god has absolute qualifications. That is, there's no separation of existence of the high god and the role of the high god. This is also true of family members. If you are a father in the family, you have no choice but to assume the role of being father. However, kings are exceptional. Not all kings could assume a role of being a king. In order to be a king, you have to act in a certain way to show the qualifications of a king. So, associated with a role are qualifications. Qualifications of a family member are naturally built in the blood ties, but qualifications of a king seem to be more complicated. This is what happened when Shang King Zhou was dethroned by Zhou King Wu. The King Zhou was not qualified for a king. He was not to assume the role of being a king. The reason was that he lost support of his people. He was not to be assigned to the position of king by the high God. This is mandatory. Under these circumstances, even his ancestors in the numinous world could not help him. The high God would reassign a king. This time, King Wu was qualified, and he was made the king of a new dynasty, the Zhou dynasty. We see that roles and role relations are normative in that they work to regulate humans' behavior. Humans are supposed to behave accordingly as what roles they assume in the community.